Hallo ihr Lieben, herzlich willkommen zum Podcast Beziehungszeit. Mein Name ist Franzi, ich bin Beziehungscoach und gebe ganzheitliches Life-Coaching und auch Energieheilungen. Und genau, ich möchte dich willkommen heißen zu diesem Interview, was auf Englisch ist, mit meinem guten Freund Samarth, den ich hier in Indien kennenlernen durfte und der Tantra-Kurse gibt. Und ja, ich hoffe, dass dich die englische Sprache nicht abhält. Und wünsche dir jetzt ganz viel Freude bei diesem Interview, das ich sehr inspirierend fand und wirklich so einen schönen Einblick in die Welt des Tantra gibt. Ganz viel Freude und bis gleich. Hello dear friends, welcome to my podcast Beziehungszeit. I hope that you're fine and that you're feeling well, and I'm very happy to welcome you in this session. It is supposed to be a very interesting interview with a friend of mine I met here in India. His name is Samarth and he's offering Tantra courses, and for me he's really a special person, and I don't know, right from the beginning I just had a feeling, wow, this is really a man I would like to get to know better, and he has such a nice energy. And yeah, I'm very happy and blessed that I can offer this interview now to you, and that he said yes, that we can make it. And yeah, it's the first interview in English, so I hope you like it and enjoy, and yeah, have a good time in the world of Tantra and in the world of Samarth. Who are you?
Namaste, my name is Samarth. And I facilitate Tantra meditation retreats and also emotional healing sessions. I also do conscious life coaching. This is what I do mostly. And as a person, I love to dance. I love to spend time in nature, and I write poetry sometimes. Yeah.
How did Tantra come into your life?
Oh, Tantra. Actually, it was a gift of Osho. Osho was one of the masters, spiritual masters from India, who brought the wisdom and practices of Tantra to be more applicable to daily life, to the, let's say, the common person, the people who are not leading a very spiritually oriented life, or who are still having their own jobs or businesses, family, their normal desires of everyday world. So Osho's talks, Osho's meditations, this is what brought me the first time in contact with the practices and wisdom of Tantra.
How long is it ago?
Well, the journey of connection with Osho started at a very young age, when I was maybe, 9-10 years old. And my brother used to listen to his talks on tapes and also read his books. And I was a very small child and I was curious. I used to enjoy the voice, the sound of the voice of Osho. And it was very relaxing and soothing. So that's how I got interested. I will not understand at that age what he's speaking about, but I just was intrigued by the voice. And then as I was growing old, from 9 to let's say 14 or 15 years of age, then I started to resonate with what Osho was talking about. And it's not that I was following him or something like that, or he was not my guru or teacher. It just felt like a resonance that whatever he's speaking or sharing or teaching, I feel connection with that, with those words, with those concepts of life. And I would also like to live my life in this way. And that's how the fascination was generated for Osho's work. And at the same time, in my school, when I was growing up from the age of 6, yoga was a subject in our curriculum. So I was studying yoga, mostly asanas and pranayam and kriyas, from a very young age. So the interest in yoga, meditation was already there. And then Osho's wisdom and his take on life and on spirituality and on Tantra added more colors to my daily yoga practice and pranayam. Yeah, that's how it grew.
Wow. You said that you had this resonance with Osho. can you say more specified what exactly made the resonance? So what catched your heart?
The first thing that resonated me towards Osho was his voice, because his voice has a certain captivating quality, and it also relaxes your wild, crazy going mind. So the voice was this first aspect of Osho which brought me to a very grounded space. And secondly, when I was growing up and I started to ask questions about life, then I started to resonate with his open-minded concepts about life, about living, about relationships, about sexuality, about meditation, about work, about every aspect of life he spoke about, and in a way which was non-conforming to the regular daily living which is taught to us. And I was a very rebellious person. I always questioned the regular way of living, and I wanted to live life in a very unique way. So that is the second aspect of his talks, of his wisdom, which caught me. The way of living life in a more open way, more with passion, and with a lot of colors of life, and to enjoy life. Dance is my biggest passion, and in all his meditations, dancing and movement is a very big part. So that also captivated me towards those meditations.
Nice. So you would say you dance your life?
Oh yes, I love to dance. If you have seen me dancing an ecstatic dance sometimes, you will know what dance means to me and how passionately and like with full energy I dance. And also it is my greatest meditation in my personal life. And also it's a big way of releasing a lot of stored emotions. And also it's fun and joyful. Yeah. And also it's a very deep way of expressing yourself, expressing your emotions through movement. And music is pleasure, it brings so much pleasure to your whole being. So it's absolute wonderful way of meditating and releasing and enjoying life.
Oh, thanks. You said that you wanted to have this free lifestyle, or Osho inspired you with his free thinking and making things completely different. How is your life right now? So how does your daily life look like?
Well, these days the daily life is very different from how I was living in my younger days, because at that time you have school, you have your sports. I was a lot into sports, so I was practicing running and yoga and meditation and a lot of football, soccer. So that, and then studies are there, and then you also live under the shadow of your family, so you have to live with some conformity, at least in Indian culture. But then now I have a lot of freedom, so now my life is completely dedicated to Tantra and to wellness and to guide people in terms of mostly emotional wellness, emotional healing, and also life coaching, which is more connected to bringing a wholesome experience in every aspect of life, whether it is work, whether it is relationship, whether it's sexuality, whether it's society, whether it's family, or even your personal life or your hobbies. So bringing more conscious, loving awareness to every aspect of your life, and sharing this from my own lifestyle, from my own living experiences with people. This is what my life looks like, filled with a lot of dancing and spending time with nature and a lot of love also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. What exactly is consciousness for you, and how would you, if someone is listening who says, okay, I would like to be more conscious, or I feel, okay, it catches me what you're saying, but I don't know how to do it. How could someone bring more consciousness into a certain life aspect?
So what happens is, in today's world and also in the spiritual world, we make a big deal about consciousness. And the way I look at consciousness is as simple as eating food. So what happens when you eat food? Let's say you eat your favorite food. So when you eat it, what happens? You feel a certain taste, right? You feel like, it's salty, or it's sweet, or wow, it looks amazing, right? If you would have seen these days, people go to a cafe, they have this beautiful looking dish served, meal served on their table, and what is the first thing that they do? They take a picture of that and they post it on Instagram, right? So why you do it? Because you're amazed by the beauty. Your eyesight, your sense of looking is wowed, is amazed by the beauty, by the look of the food. So the way we enjoyed our food, from our eyes, from our taste, from our touch when we touch the food. So same way, Tantra says, enjoy every aspect of life. Even if it is work, even if it is lovemaking, even if it is pain, even if it is discomfort, even if it is a disease, every aspect of your life you experience with your 5 senses: the sense of looking, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So Tantra simply says that experience life with a lot of awareness through all these 5 senses. And for me, consciousness simply means to be aware of every experience of your life through passing through all those 5 senses, and enjoy that and live that and experience that. That is consciousness for me.
Oh, nice.
And another aspect, from the aspect of Tantra, because Tantra is based on love. It is not something to learn or to teach. Tantra is a process of experiencing in the heart through love, sharing from the heart through love. So any experience of life, if we bring a loving awareness, a feeling of loving awareness to that experience, to that process, to the most mundane process of our life, that loving awareness to that process becomes a tantric process. And that is Tantra consciousness. And to answer your another part of the question, you asked how we can experience this consciousness, or how we can become a conscious person. So in Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is one of the main scriptures for Tantra practices, coming from Shiva's interactions with Shakti, with Parvati, his partner, the first few practices of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra are all about the breath, feeling the breath, feeling the gaps, the spaces between 2 breaths. So the more and more we are in connection with our breath, the more and more we can feel every breath going into ourselves, and the more we can feel every breath coming out of ourselves. The more we can feel every breath, the more we can also feel and experience every aspect, every process, every action, every emotion, every feeling, every sensation in our body, around us, with each other, with different people, with our food, with our life. So by becoming aware of just of our breath, we can slowly train our mind, our awareness, to become aware of every aspect, every action of our life. That is the starting point. Becoming aware of the breath.
Nice. So just, if I'm a person in normal life, just try to come as often as possible to my breath, and this is the key to become more aware of the situation and where I am right now, who I am right now, what I experience.
Yes, becoming aware of our breath is one of the key processes or meditations that can be used to train our mind to become more conscious. Also, simple thing like you asked, as a common person, as a lay person in everyday life, how can I become more conscious? So the best practice is, as I said before, becoming aware of your food. Everybody eats food, right? Almost everybody in the world eats food, and we eat few times, many times in a day. And the food is one experience which really heightens our senses. It really gives us the feeling in our sense of taste, in our sense of touch, in our sense of looking, in our experience of emotions also, you know. If we like our food, we are very much emotionally connected to that food, right? If we are thirsty, we will really feel the thirst. We will really feel the quenching of the thirst. Like it's a warm afternoon in Goa, and if you're really thirsty out in the hot sun, and if you drink a cold glass of sugarcane juice, you know, or any juice, you will feel like this feeling, you know, this feeling of pleasure sensation. So if only we become aware and conscious of our food sensations every day, it will already train us in a very subtle and enjoyable way to become conscious in our daily life. This is where you can really begin.
Thanks a lot. Somehow it feels for me like we are already completely into the topic, but I would like just to ask you in general, how would you describe Tantra, or what is Tantra? I think for many people it's much connected to sexuality, but I know that the main philosophy of Tantra is not about sexuality only, it's just a part. And how would you describe Tantra? What is it about? What's important for Tantra? Yeah.
So, when somebody asks me a question, what is Tantra? So there is no single linear answer to that question. Because Tantra is not just one single thing. Tantra is many things, and Tantra is everything. Tantra is life. Like you can't, if I ask you what is your life is not just one single thing. Your life is not just the work you do. Your life is just not your family. Your life is just not your relationships. Your life is just not the sex that you have. Your life is just not the food that you have. Your life is not just the clothes. Your life is just not your house or your home or your country. Life is all of these aspects of you combined, right? Similarly, it's Tantra. Tantra is just bringing this, as I said before, bringing loving awareness to all aspects of your life. That is one aspect of Tantra. Second aspect of Tantra is acceptance. To accept whatever life brings to you. So love, bringing loving awareness to as many aspects of your life as possible, is one aspect of Tantra. Second aspect of Tantra is to become more accepting of whatever life is bringing to us. Usually we are fighting against what we don't like in our life and trying to run after what we really want. But Tantra simply says that the whole life is about desires, right? We are all following our desires from morning till evening, whether it is a desire to eat food, to have sex, or to have money, or to have a family, or to travel somewhere, or to have a gadget. All our life is focused on living our desires. And Tantra completely validates that all desires are valid. But the only thing that Tantra teaches us is to be really aware of the deepest core desires of our body, of our mind, of our heart, and not just follow the desires which have been put into our mind through marketing or through promotion or through by looking at others how they are living your life. Tantra simply teaches us and guides us to completely become aware of how we feel inside of us and be guided inside to our core, real, natural, organic desires, and then live life following those natural, organic desires. And then our life will be more and more closer to our natural inner being. That's what Tantra is all about. One of the aspects of Tantra.
You say that Tantra is about, or the first point you mentioned is that Tantra is about becoming aware of the deepest core desires and follow them.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask you how to find them, if you maybe know there's something?
Same process, like I said before. The way to find your core desires of the heart is to feel yourself. So the more you feel yourself, so when you start training yourself to feel your breath, when you start becoming more aware and conscious of your daily food, eating with all your 5 senses, then you start also feeling your deeper, very subtle feelings and emotions and sensations arising inside of you. And when you feel those sensations in the body and subtle emotions and feelings, then you become aware of your true nature. You become aware of your true core desires of your heart. The key is only one. The key is more and more to feel ourselves. If some pain is happening to you, for example, somebody broke your heart and you are in tremendous pain, missing that person, feeling this deep heartache, pinching pain in your chest. So usually we try to avoid that experience. We drink alcohol, we take drugs, we go party, we have random sex with people, or we have another partner immediately, or we go on a holiday or something like that, or we get ourselves more busy with work. In the process of Tantra, and also in the process of life, to become more aware of yourself, to become more conscious, is to feel even those different experiences of pain, of discomfort. For example, you have a disease, some pain in your belly, in your head. Don't immediately rush to take medicine or go to the doctor. Take some time to really feel into the pain. The body is trying to speak to you something. There's something you ate wrong, or something you're thinking too much, or maybe you are in stress, or your environment is not very relaxing. So just try to listen to those signs, to that language of your body. And this way, when you listen more to your pleasure sensations, you feel more your pain sensations, you feel more your daily emotions which arise because of anybody else's acts in front of you. All these things, when you become more aware of them, more conscious of them, you start feeling them, you will start feeling your deepest core desires of the heart. And when you feel your deepest core inside of you, you will also start feeling others. So that will bring you to a space of connecting authentically with the correct people, with the people who are most important and beneficial for you to connect with. Even if it is a strong or difficult or traumatizing connection, they are there to teach you some lesson or to make you emotionally more stronger. So you will always attract the most beneficial people, processes, work, business associations, connections, experiences in your life. The more you feel yourself, the more you become closer to knowing what is your core desire of the heart. Another way you can see is you can just be with yourself, relax your body, take few deep breaths, keep a journal, a notebook and a pen to write, and just ask yourself the question, how do I want to live my life today or tomorrow or in the coming days or weeks or months? And just write the answer on the journal, on that notebook or the piece of paper. And that will give you an idea what exactly you would really like to manifest. And then check if you truly really want this or desire this, or is it just a mind game for you to satisfy some desire which is implanted into you from outside. So the more you feel your breath, the more you feel your sensations in the body, the more you feel your daily emotions and feelings, the more you will be able to feel your deepest core, real, organic, natural desires of your heart. And then your life will follow them. And the whole life will become very natural, very organic. It doesn't mean that there will be no challenges. There will be challenges. There will be upsetting moments. But they will all add and benefit you to reach closer and closer to the manifestation of the core desires of your heart. So feel yourself as much as you can. In your body, in your breath, in your emotions, in your feelings. Starting with your daily food. Feel your food.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. I like that you take the focus so much on food, because for me it's often something I have to do. And yeah, thanks for that. So that for you really the whole journey starts with the food, I like this point.
Food is not something to do only. Food nourishes us. Food keeps us healthy. Food keeps us alive. Of course, our breath is the primary source of our life force energy, but food is for all the people, for most of the people on this planet, food is the most important source of energy and life force energy. So food is not just something to do and finish. Food, from the perspective of Tantra, is the most basic and starting point of living a whole life, a conscious life. That's why I always bring the experience or the example of food in daily meditations.
Nice. Yeah, before we sat together and we ate together and you ordered a thali. Would you maybe like to describe what's a thali? It's a traditional Indian food.
Yeah, so thali basically in India is called a complete meal because it has all the ingredients for all the nutrients that our body needs, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, good fat, all the resources that we need to nourish our body at different levels. They are all present in a traditional thali. That's one aspect of thali. And second is, as per Ayurveda, there are different tastes, so different tastes affect different elements in our body. So all those different tastes are also there to nourish and balance all the 5 elements in our body. So that is why a thali is a complete nourishing food and meal, both for the taste buds and also for the whole body and the mind experience, and for nutrition to all parts of our being.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would like to go into sexual part of Tantra, and the question would be, because I have the feeling we are completely confused with sexuality. Somehow it's such a big topic, then it's forbidden, then there are porns, there's so much, and it's so hard somehow to find oneself in all of this. Do you maybe have a path how to find the own sexuality or the own contact?
So it's very simple from the perspective of Tantra, and the connection of sexuality and Tantra is very simple. First thing is, Tantra simply addresses the aspect that life begins from the sexual connection of a man and a woman, right? There is no other way. I cannot put a finger in somebody's ears and life will be born, right? Or I cannot twist your nose and life will be born, right? So the only way for the beginning of life is the masculine and feminine energy comes together through the process of sexual intercourse. So that is a very, very fundamental basis of life, the root cause of life. Without that, no life will be there. So Tantra simply addresses or validates that this is the base of life. So this is the most important aspect of life. That is one. Number 2, when we are making love, we are creating energy. If we are creating life, and who's the creator? Who's the ultimate creator? The ultimate creator is the god or the goddess, in whatever form you address them. So when we are in the process of love making, we become the creators, which means we become god or goddess. So that is why the process of love making is the most godly or the most conscious, most spiritual process of life. So that is another aspect. So Tantra simply says that don't make a basic process of life such a big complex thing. It is as simple like we eat food, like we go to the washroom, to the toilet, we earn money, we raise a family, we maybe play tennis, or we run, or we maybe play guitar, or we dance. We do so many things in life, and we do also have sex, right? So Tantra simply says that making love, having sex is just a normal function of life. That's it. Treat it as another function of life. Fourth aspect. You have your eyes, you have your ears, you have your hair, you have your forehead, you also have your genitals, right? So like any other body part, your genitals are also your regular body part. They have a certain biological function of that, right? You can also get pleasure out of touching your any other body part. If somebody touches your face, you feel so nice. Somebody, massages on your head, you feel so nice, right? You can also feel pleasure from there. So why to disconnect certain body parts? Why to become so scared of them? So Tantra simply brings this wisdom to ourselves that we don't have to disconnect any body part. It's like saying, oh, to hide my ear, I will cover my ears and not show my ears to anybody. Put something inside of them. Nobody should see my ears. No, how will you listen? Same thing we are doing with our genitals, with our sexual parts. We are hiding them. We are cutting off the life force energy from them, because life force energy is coming from our root chakra, from the base of our pelvis. So if we disconnect our connection from there, if we don't address that part of the body, we restrict the natural smooth flow of life force energy in our being. So for these aspects, Tantra simply accepts our sexual organs, our sexual processes, our sexual energy as a simple, normal part of our being, of our body, of our life, part of our emotions, part of our existence, and part of our interactions with each other. Yeah.
Isn't Tantra sexuality and love a thing that is combined, or is it two separate things? Or
in general also, it's very difficult to separate love and sexuality. Like, who do you have sex with? Somebody you are deeply connected to, or somebody you like or you love, right? You can have random sex, but then that is like masturbation in another body. But if you really make love to, that's why we call it making love, right? Sex is called as making love. Why? Because we can only have sex, truly have sex with someone when we are feeling a loving connection. And as I said before, that any process becomes a Tantra process just by adding a loving awareness to that process. Similarly, if we bring loving awareness to our food, to our work, to our family, and also we bring loving awareness, loving consciousness to our act of having sex, it also becomes love. Simple. So love and sex are, intertwined into each other.
And if, for example, someone who's listening feels like, oh wow, okay, you said often there's a disconnection, or there can be a disconnection, that we are disconnected to our sexual pole, or maybe also to other parts of our human being that are in Tantra accepted and involved. How can I, for example, if I feel, okay, I don't have good contact to my vagina, how can I come closer to it, or how can I reconnect?
It's very simple. When you say, I want to come closer to my vagina, right? If you want to come closer to me, what will you do?
Say hello.
And say hello to your vagina then.
Yeah.
What else will you do to come closer to me, let's say? You will come towards me, right?
Yeah.
So come, bring your touch, your loving awareness, your conscious touch to your vagina. Say hello to her. Bring your awareness. We only touch her only either when we are, peeing, go to the toilet, or when we are masturbating, or when we are having sex. But can you touch her like just normally, just saying hello to like a friend? Beyond peeing, beyond toilet, and beyond bedroom, can you just bring your loving, normal, friendly connection, friendly touch, friendly hello to herself? If you said that you will say hello to me, to come closer to me, how will you say hello? You will look at me, right? Have you ever looked at her? Look at her. Look at her, say hello to her, ask her how she's feeling, like a normal person, and touch her with love. And then you will feel more and more closer connection You will listen to her, what she's saying. You can smell her. You can even taste her. You can touch her. You can involve all your 5 senses to become connected to your vagina. And that is a process of Tantra practice. To use all our 5 senses, also to use our heart, our loving consciousness to connect in any process of our life. Same to connect to your vagina or to connect to your penis.
Thank you a lot. Let's say I'm in good contact with myself and I somehow also want to keep this nice energy I created in myself. And then I meet many energies and people around that are not that aware, and maybe I feel the whole time that there's, I would say, shitty energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a nice word, but yeah. How can I maybe protect myself from it, or how to deal with it, maybe also without excluding persons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So on the path of Tantra, it's very simple. You don't fight with anybody. You don't block any energy. You don't protect yourself from any energy. You simply circulate your own energy within yourself, and when this energy is circulating from the root to the top of the head, passing through our heart chakra, it channelizes our life force energy in such a way that it already becomes like a filter of energy. So any energy or any being, any person who you feel is bringing a negativity to you, their energy when it comes to you will start becoming processed and become more positive and healthy before it comes and touches you. But for that, you don't have to be in fear, because when you are in fear, in protection mode, your whole body, your mind clenches, becomes tight, and this blocks the natural flow of your life force energy. You have to constantly keep moving your life force energy through breath, through conscious breath, through movement, through awareness. And there are so many Tantra practices, if you will do, that your energy will keep on moving through all your 7 energy centers, through your 7 chakras. And when the energy is circulating within you, it becomes clean and also creates a cleansing filter for your energy. So you don't have to worry or protect yourself from any energy. Whichever energy will come in contact with you, it will filter through you. Either it will not enter you if it's too much, or it will filter through you and you will connect with them. So it's very important to keep cleansing and circulating your own energy. Like water, when it's moving, it's fresh, right? But when it's stagnated, it usually becomes not so fresh. Same thing with energy. When the energy is constantly moving, it is more fresh and clean.
Thanks. So it's more about not seeing maybe something that scares me in the energy of someone else that does not completely resonate, but trusting myself that I can process it and that I can clear it. So maybe allowing myself more abilities.
Yeah, so when you are connecting with yourself more and more with Tantra practices, you become more grounded in your own inner life force energy, which is your own inner power. So then you're not living in fear of protecting yourself against something or some energy or someone. You are so much living in your grounded energy that you are not afraid of anything. You are not affected negatively by any energy. You are very much stable. Like a storm comes and you are stable and you're relaxed. You will move a little bit, but you will not fall down. So you are more grounded, like deep roots of a tree. When the storm comes, it sways, but it stays grounded. So the more deep your roots are with daily Tantra practice, the more you will be grounded and the more you will be able to be relaxed with any kind of energy that comes in contact with you. That's the process of Tantra.
The next question is it's a bit like a question we already had with coming in contact with the vagina. But I would like to ask, because my experiences or how I feel it is that very many men have really a problem with their sexuality, so that somehow it creates stress that they have to masturbate that often, or they feel pressure, or I don't know, for me very often it feels not really connected, and I have the feeling that they are really suffering from it. And somehow I would like to help them. And for me it feels like a disbalance, and I don't really know how to solve it. So I would like to ask you if you would maybe have some tips and also a picture of what would be normal. So is it really that men have to suffer from sexuality, or what is a normal way and how does it look like if it's balanced?
So yes, you're right. A lot of men on this planet, in this world, are suffering with their sexual energy, primarily because a lot of exposure to porn is there, and then the sexual energy is just focused on the genitals or on the process of having sex or fucking, you know. Whereas from the perspective of Tantra, the sexual energy is not only for having sex, it is primarily the life force energy which creates life and which keeps us alive till our last breath. That is one aspect of the sexual energy. Second aspect of sexual energy is the creative force it is. Even if we go to the primal process, primal usage of the sexual energy, it is to create life, right? But we can't be creating life all the time. We can't be giving birth to kids all the time. But we can use the same energy to create many things, like we have used it to create so many things in the world. So to create what you would really like to create for yourself or for others or for the world or for humanity or for nature, that creative aspect is very, very big aspect of using our sexual energy from the perspective of Tantra. And the only way to do it is the same process which I explained before, the circulation of our energy. So generally, because of porn and different ideas of sexuality, since we have disconnected our sexual energy, we have disconnected our sexual organs from our body, we have kept them in a certain closed box that only we use them only in the toilet or when we are having sex. So from the perspective of Tantra, if we bring our sexual energy in our daily life, in our daily processes and actions of life, which is actually the truth, because without life force energy, we cannot function. We cannot go to office, we cannot do our gym or yoga, we cannot walk, we cannot run, we cannot make love, we cannot cook food, we cannot make money. Nothing can be done without life force energy. So actually, we are using our sexual energy in every single act of our life. It's just we are not aware of that. So simply from the perspective of Tantra, Tantra makes us aware that this is our life force energy which we are using in every aspect of life. So that awareness that this is part of our sexual energy. Second is the sexual energy which is focused through porn only on genitals or focused only on having sex or intercourse or fucking. That aspect of energy, if it is moved through movement, through breath or through different Tantra practices, when this energy is moved from the genitals throughout our body, passing through our heart center, going all over ourselves like a circle, we call it orbiting. So if we channelize our life force, our sexual energy like this through Tantra practices, the concentration of sexual energy relaxes in our genitals and relaxes in our mind and gets spread out all over cells. So that relaxes a lot of the pressure of the sexual energy, which results in masturbation or excessive masturbation or rapes or excessive sexual activity or excessive thoughts about sexuality or having sex, or results in porn addiction. So when the sexual energy is moved across, it relaxes the focus on the act of fucking, on the act of sex, on the act of looking at a body, at a female body, just as a means of releasing our sexual tension. So when this energy is equally distributed in all our being, we become relaxed. And then when we interact with the opposite gender, we become more relaxed in our interaction. We become less sexually focused on our interaction, you know. And then the interaction becomes more relaxed for the woman also. She becomes more relaxed, more open. And if the connection is genuine, then we can go deeper. We can go on a date, we can make love, we can have sex, we can marry, we can have kids, whatever you want to do. But in the beginning, the channelization of the sexual energy throughout our body and mind and emotional body and energetic body is the key to relax that tension between man and woman sexual connections.
Thanks. Thanks. It sounds to me like really enjoying the own spirit and the own energy for oneself, because often I have the feeling that they just want to give it and to take it away, but really to enjoy it in the own body.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think that's really helpful.
Thank you.
Yesterday I sat with someone who joined a retreat from you last year, and he said he got so many things out of it, and that one main point was to unlearn. So I would like to ask, maybe not only with sexual, but also in general, what are things that we do if we live I would say more normal standard life? And what do we have to unlearn and to become free again if we want to go a tantric way?
So the first thing that we do when we live a, let's say, normal or regular life is to live a lot from the fear. Fear is the biggest aspect which is driving our life. The fear of not having enough money, the fear of not having enough sex, or the fear of not having a job, the fear of not having acceptance in the society, the fear of falling sick or something like that, the fear of losing our job or business or house or anything. In today's world, the way men and women are interacting emotionally and sexually and romantically, there is a lot of insecurity and fear about losing your love, losing your partner to somebody else, because everybody is very promiscuous. So in general, we are living within a lot of fear, and a fear of COVID or things like that, So there is a lot of fear around us. So the first thing that the Tantra teaches us is to relax the fear. The more we are relaxed in our physical body, in our mind, the more we can come more closer to feeling our authentic desires and living our life out of following those authentic desires and not because of following fear. That is one aspect of changing your normal life into a tantric life. Second aspect is really feeling your life force energy. Generally, we are so much distracted in our daily actions and media and telephone and internet and everything, and the struggle and the fear of earning money, having a job, or finding a partner, or having enough money, things like that, or having the best experiences which we can post on Instagram or Facebook. So that race of following our worldly desires is so much. Again, if we just relax into ourselves, we will start feeling what we truly desire in our life. And that true desire, the awareness of feeling our true desires, and then living from that awareness of our true desires of the heart, is the starting point of a tantric lifestyle.
Maybe to come more with the same question more into the sexual topic, I come in with one thing. I would say normal sexuality is much with a focus. So for example, with a focus on orgasm, or with a focus on making joy for the woman, what really makes a pressure on women. It's not nice.
On men also it makes a pressure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, every focus. So Tantra is being without focus. So I would say maybe enjoying the moment, going with the moment. But how would you say it? And maybe in sexuality, what are different things we do? And maybe also the focus comes out of fear. Would you say this?
Yes, there is a lot of fear. In today's media, there is a lot of focus on orgasms, on multiple orgasms, on satisfying your partner and things like that, or to having a conscious orgasm. In the Tantra world, there is a lot of focus on having multiple orgasms and not losing your energy, or being conscious orgasms and things like that. So again, the key to having that tantric way of lovemaking is to first relax all these expectations, all this focus, all this result oriented lovemaking. The more you relax, the more you feel your body, your sensations, the more you feel your desires, you become more and more aware of the whole process of lovemaking. And then you start feeling every little sensation which is arising in the body. Secondly, you become aware how your partner is feeling. So when you feel how your partner is feeling, you automatically will be reaching to a space of making them feel comfortable without using any technique. Third is communication. Talk to each other. Express how you're feeling emotionally, sexually, physically, mentally, socially, around each other. Express to them. And express to them your truest desires, your wildest fantasies. Express to them your craziest kinks. It doesn't matter whether they are able to satisfy or live them with you or not, because two people could feel different kinks, different fantasies, different desires, different sensations. But simply expressing to them releases a lot of tension in your body, in your mind. So third key is to communicate. First key is to relax. Second is to feel your own body, feel your own sensations, feel your own desires, feel your own kinks and fantasies. And third is to communicate all your desires, all your feelings, all your sensations, all your kinks to your partner. And fourth is to just follow the flow of the energy. Sometimes the energy is very soft and gentle. You just maybe want to cuddle, maybe kiss, maybe play with each other, maybe laugh. Sometimes you want to have very wild animalistic sex, and sometimes you want to indulge in some kink like BDSM or something like that. And sometimes you want to just maybe hold hands or lie together or walk or cook together or give each other a massage or have a conversation or share something which has been very heavy in your heart, in your mind, So, or maybe sometimes just watch a movie or listen to music, So just see how you would like to spend this intimate time with each other. So in the Tantra process, the awareness is more on intimacy and not only on fucking and sex and exciting sexual energy and reaching orgasm. This is not the process of Tantra. The process of Tantra is to relax, to feel yourself, to communicate how you feel with your partner, to listen how they feel, and to follow the flow how you want to be with your partner in this moment. And that will bring you to the natural flow of lovemaking and sexual connection with each other. Not only sexual, but emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, energetic, social, at the level of hobbies, extracurricular connection, intellectual. At many different levels, you will find a connection. And once you find all these so many layers of connection with your partner, the orgasm will become immensely deep. It doesn't have to be all the time like we show in the movies and just going crazy with that. Sometimes even the most subtle look of your partner's eyes in your eyes could just blow you away in the most silent way. And that is a part of the whole tantric orgasm. It's not just the last peak of last few moments when your eyes roll into your socket and you finish. That is not orgasm in Tantra. In tantric orgasm, tantric process of lovemaking, the moment you meet, even before the moments you have met each other, every aspect of your time spent together, whether physically together or on the phone or in different countries or across time zones, or while being in bed together, or while being on the beach or in a cafe together, or while working together, every of that moment spent together is part of and building different levels of orgasm: subtle, intense, gentle, wild, multiple, single, whatever. Everything is a part of the orgasm. It's again, I will come to the example of food. When you eat your final dish, which has been cooked for you, either you cook yourself or you go in a cafe, or your mother or your father or family or sister or wife or husband or boyfriend cooks for you. When you eat the final dish, does the dish suddenly appear from anywhere? No, right? The whole dish is the experience of the final dish is because the vegetables or fruits were plucked, they were washed, they were cut, they were cooked in a certain way, they were processed in a certain way, and then, or they were combined with certain spices or flavors or certain other foods in a certain way, and with all those things make the final dish, right? That is your orgasm. Ah, nice, this dish feels so nice. But if all those other aspects before this were not there, do you think you will enjoy this dish? No, right? So similarly with orgasm, to reach a complete, beautiful, deep orgasm, you need to also pay equal attention to every small little aspect of your connection with your partner. And then the more awareness you pay to the cutting of the vegetables, the washing them, the spices, the equal measure of it, the flame on which you cook, how much time you cook it for, all those aspects are actually what are making the orgasm, right? The orgasm is dependent on them. Similarly, we are not only focusing on rubbing the clit in a certain way to reach that final point. We are including all these preparatory aspects, and these preparatory aspects will define how is our actual orgasm. So in Tantra, all these aspects from the beginning till the end are a part of the whole orgasm.
So it's possible to just live all the time orgasmic life?
That is the whole point of Tantra practice. Even in pain, even in fights, even in difficult times. Because pain has its own pleasure. If you have experienced BDSM. Yes, pain has its own bliss. Pain has its own orgasm. But we are so afraid of pain that we miss those orgasms. Yeah.
Thanks. And maybe, or my experience is that it goes maybe in both directions. So I had experience when I really had pain, not in sexual contact, but in general. And for me it was very nice to find out if I really go into it, I can enjoy it. Somehow it takes fear from becoming older and maybe get more injuries at a certain age. And also to go more into those nothingness, in this, where I think, okay, it's too little that there could be something. And can you maybe say something about this? Because for me you said there are many different orgasms. I would maybe make two kinds of orgasm for now. One orgasm is where there's a release afterwards. So there's a peak and then energy falls more down. And then there's a type of orgasm where you can spend hours in it, and it's more like a belly orgasm. So the energy is more fine and more gentle, but all over the body. Is this a tantric orgasm concept, or I don't know? Can you say something to those different forms, or how Tantra sees it?
So the perspective of Tantra on orgasms is very simple. As I said before, it is not the last point, it is not the peak only. It is all aspects which can bring some pleasure to you. It is the whole journey is orgasmic. So we are not waiting till the last moment, because when we wait till the last moment, we hold so much of sexual energy, and then it becomes so heavy for us that we have to release it. And that is the orgasm or the ejaculation or the release that we experience in our sexual life. But in Tantra, we simply spread that sexual energy all around our body, across time. across our body, across our physical, emotional, energetic, emotional and mental body, and also across time zones. That is why we say that when we are in the space of inner bliss, when we are in the space of tantric orgasm, we lose track of time. We can be in the room or with our partner throughout the day, throughout days, weeks. And also we can spread that energy not only in bed or while having intercourse or sex or touching intimately, also while cooking, while showering, while walking on the beach, while going in the market. We can still keep on feeling the expansion of our life force energy. And that is the expansion of the orgasmic life force energy. This is what we practice in Tantra, this is what we learn in Tantra, and this is what we live in a tantric lifestyle. To expand this energy in whatever aspect of life we are in. Not only in bed, not only in sex, not only in the last point of release. Evenly spreading our sexual energy all around. As I said before, we are using our sexual energy in every process of our life because it is our life force energy. Same way, if we start becoming aware of that energy, we will start feeling pleasure all the moments.
Nice.
And also when you said that when we go through the pain, when we go deep into the pain, it's like going in a coal mine, and under the large, huge lot of coals, underneath you find diamonds, right? Same way, when you go deep into the experience of pain, you will find the diamonds of pleasure, of orgasmic bliss. Yeah. So never miss the pain orgasms. Any time life or somebody gives you pain in your life, be with that, stay with that, stop everything that you're doing in your life, just feel that pain, and you will be amazed how much wisdom you will attain about life and how much orgasmic bliss you will discover once you walk past through that pain.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And this has been my personal experience, and I'm sharing from my personal experience how I discovered orgasms beyond pain, under the coal mine of pain, the diamonds of orgasm that I discovered.
Wow. Really brings a completely different perspective to me. Would you maybe have two exercises, one maybe for enjoying, or if there's a couple, and one exercise for enjoying I would say the nice way of love, of being together in a tantric way, and maybe another exercise where people can get a taste for pain, getting closer to pain in a exercise?
One is what you can do is what I always tell couples or partners to really spend a lot of time foreplay and even pre-foreplay. So even before you're thinking about sex or wanting to go to have sex, spend a lot of times doing things together and enjoying those moments or living those moments. And even when you go to bed or you are going to have sex, for example, in a house, you can enjoy some flirtations from some playful touching in the kitchen, taking a shower together, giving each other a massage, and things like that, or doing things, maybe feeding each other some fruit, some food. All these things are very, 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 very useful in building a soft, non-heavy, like sexual flow, which is not like tight, which is not with tension, stress-free sexual energy flow between you and your partner. That is one very, long foreplay. Sometimes people ask me how much time. If we really go from the mind or calculation, my calculation says it's ideal to have at least about anything between 1 to 2 hours of foreplay before you even touch each other's genitals. 1.5 hours, 2 hours is a nice time to really relax and to spread the sexual energy all around you and to build that connection. Usually what we are doing is we are going too fast and we are building sexual tension. No, we are not building sexual connection. We are building sexual tension between each other in our genitals, in our mind, in our bodies, and then rubbing it and releasing that tension. In the Tantra perspective, we build sexual connection, which is more relaxing. So that is one process that couples and partners can do. The second aspect you said about pain. So one is whenever life gives you natural pain. For example, my favorite example is when somebody breaks your heart, and that time you are in the deepest pain, That time, if you can just stay with the pain, and that is really like sharp pain in your chest, in your body, and it can really take you to the deepest core of your heart. That is one time. Second time, if you want to be playful, I don't know how much pain people like. If they like you, they can use spanking a little bit. I use spanking a lot, or some impact play. For example, we have some nice toys like a leash, or some there are a lot of toys which can help you. But even if you use your palms, your hands, to use some spanking on the bottom, and we can go more and more deeper into that, and that can create some sensations of sharp, gentle pain in your body, and just to go into them and breathe into them and just feel the sensations. And when you feel the ripples of sensations with those spanking, that can really bring you to a very delicate space of sexual connection between you and your partner. But that is advisable only when you enjoy that. Or you can experiment with this and see if you like it or you can't, or you don't. And even if you don't like it, you can check if a small softer level impact force of the slap on the buttocks can be helpful. But also be very careful if your partner has any trauma attached to being beaten up or being abused. Then be very careful. Then you will have to talk to them and have a chat with them. Is this okay with them? So very carefully talk to them, because pain is a very sensitive subject, and you have to have a lot of conversation with your partner before going into any pain process. Ideally, it would be advisable to consult a specialist who specializes in this. There are a lot of Tantra facilitators and guides who guide couples into this impact play and to work with pain and pleasure. So you can check with them and have a guided session with them, and that would help you better to play with this. Because many times I've seen couples, they go into it because they watched some porn movie, or maybe they listen to an interview like this, or see a video on YouTube or something like that, and then they start playing with it directly, and that can trigger a trauma in your partner. So be very careful about it and be very informed. Have a conversation with your partner, or consult a therapist, a Tantra healer, or a like conscious king therapist, and then go in a very guided format, because pain is a very delicate, tricky space to deal with. So be very careful with that. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, also good that you really point so much on it, that it should always be pleasure for both sides. But in general, Tantra says there's no limits, as I understand you. So you can go wherever you want. There's no, you can go everywhere as long as it fits. Is it right?
Yeah. I mean, limits are defined by the individual. Yeah. Right. For example, there is a limit how many breads you can eat in a meal. Somebody can eat 5, somebody can eat 2, somebody doesn't eat any bread. So everybody has a different limit of eating. Same thing with pain and pleasure. Sometimes people get exhausted also after having too many orgasms. Like women, legs are shaking, or they're tired, or they have no more energy. Those orgasms are energy releasing orgasm basically. So that's why they're not relaxed, and they're not expansion of energy orgasms. But they get exhausted even after pleasure. So your limits, that's why I said in the beginning, the more you feel yourself, the more you're aware of your limits also. So again, going to the point 1, to answer your question, how do we know our limits, is only by feeling yourself more and more every day in every aspect of your life. Not only in your sexual life, but in every aspect of your life. Feel yourself more, and then you will be able to live the most authentic, most orgasmic, most blissful, most tantric life possible.
Nice, thank you. sounds a bit also like stretching the own comfort zone in different directions. So to just become more settled and more comfortable with a wider range of experience of life and humanity.
That is very big aspect of Tantra practice, to go a little bit out of your comfort zone. Like I said before, that we live in the fear zone of all of our life, we also live in our comfort zone. I like this, I want this, I don't want this. So Tantra always encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and just check, is there something new to experience, to explore? And then decide if your limit can be stretched a little bit more or it has to be the same. So yes, this is a very important aspect of a Tantra lifestyle.
Thanks. I would like to go into two more aspects, and one of them is the opposite of pain. So what I experience more and more with the surrounding I have, so more conscious people, more loving people, more aware people who always also practice Tantra, for example, that I come in contact, for example, with ways of being loved, or that love comes to me that really triggers me and stress me a bit, or where I don't feel comfortable, but because it's too good, or that I get a touch that is too loving and too nice and too soft. I once had a touch that was really amazing, and it was really scary healing. I needed about 9 months until my body could in any kind accept this kind of touch, because it was like an angel. Really, it was like an angel, and it was so pure. And maybe one question is how to come more into this pureness of touch, and how to deal with if there comes this kind of comfort zone, or
See, we have all kinds of experiences in life, and many times in life we cannot control a lot of our experiences. Primarily because life is designed for us to have certain experiences for our growth, for our learning, for our wisdom, for expansion of our experience catalog, let's say. And secondly, most of the times we live our life so unconsciously that we are not even aware what is happening to us. We just follow our patterns from our subconscious mind, which are just a habit which is coming from childhood, or even from previous lives, or from the patterns of our parents, or of our family, or of our friends, or some patterns which we learned from our society. So most of our experiences in our life are coming from those. So to break out of that pattern, simply, again, we need to feel more ourselves, to feel our body more, to feel our sensations, to feel our emotions. The more we feel ourselves more, the more we will live from our own authentic experience, and not from experiences or influences which are being imposed on us from outside, from others, or from media, or from education, or from religion, or from some teachers, or from some family. The more we are in connection with ourselves, the more we live an authentic, real life. And that is the more tantric life to live.
Thanks. How is Tantra and honesty, for example, with a partner?
The most important thing, as I said, that Tantra lifestyle or Tantra life, the way of Tantra living is to live from your natural conscious self, which means your honest self, right? When I said that you express to your partner your real sensations, your real emotions, your real insecurities, your real fears, your real kinks, your real fantasies, your real sexual desires, your real emotions. So when you express to them everything that you are feeling, you become more and more honest. And that will also clear whether this person would like to be with this person or not. So either they will stay with you or they will leave with you. And that will clear the path for you, the path of connections, from the people who really don't connect with you properly, So it will only bring the most authentic connections in your life the more you are honest, the more you are real, the more you are authentic, the more you are organic and natural from within yourself. But that takes a lot of courage to feel like that, to be like that, to express yourself like that, and to live like that. So that needs courage. And for courage, when courage arises, the fear dissolves. Or when fear dissolves, courage arises. Both sides. And fear will dissolve, courage will arise only when we feel more and more our own inner being. And the more and more you become aware of your inner self, the more your natural, your honest self will become so much on the surface and so much alive and around that no fear or no judgment will be able to suppress your natural honest being. Which means you will live an honest life, and only authentic people will connect with you when they will see your natural self. And those who don't connect with your natural self, they will leave you. And then you will have only natural, authentic connections. That is the way of tantric connections.
Yeah, so because before I had this feeling when you explained that, wow, this kind of intimicity, yeah, it feels a bit very, very close. So I would feel, okay, there come maybe things where this closeness is a bit scary. And yeah, also for example to tell the other person, hey, this is happening in me and maybe I need more time to be able to process things in a good way. Yeah, I don't know, somehow like this I came to this honesty topic. But I think, yeah, it's just also allowing everything what I need, not putting something down. So being with everything what's really there. Is this right?
Yeah, of course. When you live authentically, you express authentically, and you experience authentically. And that also means that you take some time and space for yourself. If you're not ready, you feel not ready to connect with someone, tell them, I'm not ready yet, I need some more time with myself. That's it. Yeah.
What does Tantra say to relationships?
Again, from the perspective of Tantra, it's not about relationships, it's about relating. It's about connection. Whether you are in a relationship or you are not, even if you get married, in today's world, relationships fall apart every day. Marriages fall apart every day. Families fall apart every day. So that is happening because people are not relating, they are not connected to each other. They either just want to have sex with each other, or they just want to have a security to have somebody, or they have the fear of being alone, or they want to show in the world that they have somebody. So we are connecting with people because of that, or because I like the way somebody looks, or I like the way the person has the money or the car or some other accomplishment. But we are not connecting from the space of authenticity. And that is the reason why most connections fail. So again, same thing. When we connect authentically to ourselves, we will express our authentic self, and then we will attract and manifest authentic connections. And that is an authentic relationship. From the perspective of Tantra, a relationship is for that time being. Connection for that time being, as long as you are together. It could be few hours, few days, few weeks, few months, few years, or lifetime, or few moments. It depends. There is no defined concept of relationship from the perspective of Tantra. It just, a relationship is defined as long as it lasts. And living it honestly, naturally, completely, and then when the time is that it falls apart, letting it go. Accepting, okay, this is the time to let go. That's it.
Thanks. If I'm now, for example, in a relationship and I want to go this tantric way, and I have a partner I really love, so let's say we fit together, but the other person does not want to go a tantric way. And yeah, maybe there we come to points, for example, I would say in normal life it's maybe not such a big thing, because how I live and experience everything for myself is not so much connected with the other side, I would say, if I see it in a tantric way. But I would feel now, for example, in sexuality, if I just want to try different ways, and the other person is just not open for it right now, or maybe scared, how could I maybe invite the other person in a nice way, or should I just not do it? And yeah, how to deal with it if I don't want to leave the other person, but really want to stay together? And yeah, do you have maybe some tips how to invite another person, or how to make it also attractive and that the other person understands what's maybe the benefit for myself?
So many questions in this one question.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
The first part of this question is, what happens if I want to live a Tantra-inspired lifestyle and my partner is not ready for it? So there's always, couples ask me this question all the time, and simple answer to this is, in Tantra, the journey is primarily for your own self. You're not worried or concerned about your partner as of now. First, you activate and channelize your own life force energy, your own sexual energy, your own emotional energy, your own aura. So once you channelize and work on your own energy, it will obviously have an impact on the other person's energy. So either that person will also feel drawn towards it, or they will be not drawn towards it. Two things can happen. If they feel drawn towards it, you can bring them into the same space, or they will leave you, or like you said, that you don't resonate, both of you don't resonate with the Tantra path, but still you want to be together because you're emotionally attached to each other or love each other. For whatever reason, you want to stay together. Then in that process, the only way is to accept each other. That you are in your own process and that person is in their own process, and you find the common paths that you can live together and leave the paths that you are not feeling in common with. You can do your own Tantra practice within yourself and connect to your partner from that authentic space. Tantra is nothing but just being natural and honest to yourself and to the other person. So don't confuse about Tantra being something else, like something coming from space and you have to practice that. The more you are real and authentic to yourself, the more tantric you are. Either this person will accept you as you are or not. And if they don't, then it's time to let go. So letting go of the attachment of somebody, letting go of the attachment of some connection or the attachment of some experience is a very big aspect of Tantra lifestyle. We are so attached to our things, to our house, our car, our partners, our experiences, our dresses, our shoes, our cafes that we eat in. We are so attached, and that's why we suffer. So just being relaxed and always being ready to let go of the deepest attachments that we have. That is the Tantra way of living and connecting. More than connecting, always being relaxed and ready to let go of this connection and being complete within your own self. That is a Tantra. I mean, there is a long, I cannot answer this in one interview. It is a lot of practices around it, a lot of understanding around it, because attachment is a very, very big sickness for humanity. And this is one of the biggest sicknesses that we suffer from, especially in our romantic, emotional life, in our sexual life, in our, like family life, in our connections. Attachment is a very, very big sickness, and attachment is a very big challenge to relax, to work with. It needs a lot of tools to work with attachment. But again, the more you are connected to your own inner flow of energy, the less attached you will be to a certain person or to a certain connection or to a certain experience. And it will be easy to let go of this connection. It will be easy to let go of this person if you are deeply connected to yourself. Yeah. It may not make sense to you right now, or to people who are listening to this, because we all look at our connections from a sense of attachment, from the sense of ownership, from the sense of having. We are never relaxed. We don't let the other person be the way they are, the way they want to. We don't let ourselves be the way we want to. If I eat eggs and my partner doesn't like eggs, I cannot force to put eggs in their mouth, right? Same way is in our likes and dislikes, in our sexual preferences. If we like something and if they don't like something, we cannot force them to do that. Sometimes we do things for each other to make them happy, but then you can't force them. They can do it out of their own love for you, but you can't force them. So just the acceptance that this is how my partner is, this is how I am. Either we stay together or we let go. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Or maybe also find ways to open the relationship.
That is always an option, to open the relationship. And there are many such options. That's why I said there are many more ways we can go into it. But primarily the fact is, if you choose to stay with each other, then of course other things arrive. You can open the relationship. You can live with the fact that your partner is not responding to that, like acceptance. Or slowly you can give small little flavors of your sexual preferences to your partner, and maybe they gradually develop their liking towards it. Because sometimes some people don't do it out of some judgment around that sexual preference, or their fear or their trauma from previous years in their life. So maybe you can discover that why they don't like this, and there can be many ways with a therapist or within the two of you. You can find a way to heal that fear or that trauma which is around that sexual preference, and that is another way of bringing them into that. Or you can show them how pleasurable it is for you, and if they really love you, they might do this for you out of love. So there are many ways of inviting them. Yeah.
Thanks.
But never force them.
Yeah, I think that's really the main thing.
Yeah.
Let the person be. Yeah. What is femality for you? What is masculinity for you? And what's your way, or how do you see it that the genders can really come together and really meet and be good for each other?
Yeah, so there is a lot of this divide between man and woman, between masculine and feminine energy and the bodies. So outside of the Tantra world, we look at it primarily from the body perspective. If you're born in a male body, you are masculine. If you're born in a female body, you're feminine. But from the perspective of Tantra, it is very simple. It is not about the body only, it is also about the flow of energy. Let's look at it from the perspective of an example of a river and rocks. So the masculine energy is more holding energy, the energy which is holding space. So the rocks, the trees on the side of the flowing river, the river banks which are stable, that is the masculine energy. It is present in both the man and the woman. It is not just a man's prerogative. It is present in both men and women. The man sometimes holds the whole family, and when sometimes the father dies or the husband dies, the woman takes care of the whole family, right? So the woman steps into her masculine energy of holding space. So that is the flow of energy which defines masculine or feminine energy, and that is present in both. The feminine energy is more flowy energy, is more dancing energy, like the river energy, the more fluid energy. So this is the two aspects of masculine and feminine, and they are present in both. The women also have masculine energy and feminine energy, and men also have both feminine energy and masculine energy. The reason is, when we are born, the mother and the father, the man and the woman, come together, make love to each other, right? As we know the biology, the X chromosomes and Y chromosomes come together. So we are made of both the aspects of our man and the woman. We are made of both the aspects of the mother and the father. So we are a combination of both their energies. That is why we are present with both the energies, the masculine and the feminine. It just depends. If one aspect of energy is more prominent in us, then the body takes that shape. If another aspect is more prominent, then the body takes another shape. That is what divides us on the physical level. Mentally and emotionally also we are a little bit different, but we have both the energies inside of us. But that is a Tantra way of practicing and living, but also in the general way when you ask how men and women can unite, can come together. Again, there is also a sense of polarity, you know. The masculine energy and feminine energy are polar to each other. That's why they attract like a magnet. So the more we are owning our own energy in different times, the more we can connect to each other. Which simply means, it doesn't mean that if you are born in a masculine body that you have to be masculine all the time, or if you are born in a feminine body so you have to be feminine all the time. Again, the process of Tantra is to respond to that moment, in that part of your life, which energy is more prominent. Do you feel more like stabling energy right now, or do you feel more like, moving energy right now? And that will define your gender in the moment, your being in the moment. And accordingly, you will connect to your partner. Your partner will respond to the opposing energy in that moment, if both the partners are genuinely connected to their own energy flows in that moment. And then, accordingly, one partner will be masculine in a moment, another partner will be feminine in that moment. And then you have to also see, for example, sometimes when two partners are fighting, the wise ones, if another partner is more in anger, the other partner will stay calm and just let the other partner be angry in that moment, right? Which means one partner is in masculine energy. It could be anyone, the man or the woman. One partner is masculine energy and second partner is more in feminine energy. Reflecting to your partner's energy and presenting to them the other polarity of their energy is what makes a connection more stable and grounded and more connected to each other. So always feel what is the energy that you are in, and that will make you aware of in what energy flow is your partner in that moment, and then you respond to each other accordingly. And that will bring the connection more closer to each other, and that way the masculine and feminine energy will be at a balance within yourself and also in balance with you and between your partner.
Wow, nice. Thank you for this answer. Nice. Last question would be very open, but you can, if you want, make a longer answer with many topics, just as it comes. What would you like to tell the people who will listen this video?
Well, I think I have already said a lot of things. And even though they were through different questions, but if you look in the answers, the thread is only one. And the one thread to answer all the questions that you asked, which I just realized and which is the truth also, is to more and more feel yourself, to relax your body. So I will only again repeat these few different techniques or practices or mantra, whatever you call them, to relax your body and mind, to feel your body, your feelings, your sensations, your emotions more and more, and to express yourself as openly, as authentically as you can. I think that's more than enough to live a tantric and open, a satisfying life.
Yeah, completely. Thank you so much for summarizing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish that many people come to the retreats, because I really can recommend. I only heard very, very many good things. And for me, you're just really authentic, and I think that's the thing I love most, that it's so feelable that you live it and that you are it. And also the humanity behind. So, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's unfortunately already the end of the interview and of the conversation we had. I hope you liked it, and I will put the contact of Samarth in the show notes so that you can maybe go in contact with him, maybe have a look what he's doing. And yeah, also my contact you find in the show notes, and I'm very happy and blessed if you want to go in contact with me and if you want to meet. And yeah, I wish you a very happy and lucky good day and hope to see you soon. With lots of love. See you. Bye, Franzi. Ja, ich hoffe, dass dir und euch das Gespräch gefallen hat. Ich bin wirklich glücklich und finde es mega schön, so diese Welt einfach nochmal ein bisschen tiefer kennenlernen zu dürfen und da einfach auch so einen kompetenten Lehrer dafür gefunden zu haben. Und ja, ich hoffe, dass es euch gut geht. Ich wünsche euch eine gute Zeit. Und wenn ihr an den Angeboten von Samarth interessiert seid, dann findet ihr alle wichtigen Infos in den Shownotes. Und ja, auch meine Infos findet ihr in den Shownotes. Ich freue mich natürlich auch, wenn ihr Kommentare unter dem Video hinterlasst, wenn ihr mir einfach mitteilt, wie es euch geht, wie ihr das Video fandet. Egal, um was es geht, geht gerne mit mir in Kontakt. Und ja, ich freue mich auf euch, ich freue mich auf die nächste Folge und wünsche euch jetzt eine wunderschöne, gute Zeit und hoffe, dass es euch gut geht und dass ihr ja, euer Leben rockt. Alles Liebe.